Lazy people do a little work and think they should be winning. But winners work as hard as possible and still worry if they're being lazy.
What is going on, guys? What's going on? It's the Lab Podcast. Man, you can see me. We're on another gym, different gym. And today we're here with Dominic Ducharme. Yeah. See, I had him pronounce his last name because I can't pronounce it. I got this Mexican accent that just doesn't go away.
Yeah, I guess, yeah.
How you doing, man?
Good, man.
How's your day today?
Good, man. Went good. Had a good training session earlier, showered, and now we're here.
Just finished training up and...
Yeah, I had some good rolls and stuff. So,
yeah. What was it today? Jiu-jitsu?
Just jiu-jitsu, yeah.
Jiu-jitsu?
Just nice flow rolls, you know.
Okay.
A little Saturday morning.
Okay.
So.
Man, that's, there's no rest day. Every day is a working day.
You want to do something every day, you know, whether it's, at least a little light, you want to do something. So.
Yeah. Well, we're here because, he has a fight coming up on March 5th and Fight at the Tech. I know there's a lot of fighters that are excited for that and that are going to be fighting on that. How do you feel about it?
I'm feeling excited, man. It's a good opportunity. Scott Coker's promotion.
Yeah.
It doesn't really get bigger than that. So,
right.
You want to make the most of it, leave a good impression, and just get good momentum going.
And
overall.
I think for the Bay Area, it's just exciting to have that big. I know we have Uriah Faber's A1, and then we have other organizations, the Santa Cruz organization, but this one I think is just a little bit bigger. It feels a little bigger than normal. Yeah,
no, for sure. I mean, like I said, him having history with Bellator and Strikeforce speaks for itself, and I think it's a good card stacked with killers around the Bay Area. Right. So, I think it's just a good promotion overall, and in the future too. So
future of the Bay. So I'm excited. Now, you're 1-0 pro. Yeah. But you're 5-0 amateur.
4-0 as an amateur.
4-0. Okay.
Yeah,
Okay. I was trying to give you an extra one.
Yeah, I should have took it. Yeah.
Yeah. So this will be your second fight.
Second pro fight. Yeah.
Now just to go back, your last fight was on August, or was that one canceled?
My last fight was in November.
Okay.
For Uriah's show.
Okay, that was your first pro fight.
First professional, yeah.
Okay, all right. I was looking at an interview where you had a fight in August. That could have been last year or.
Yeah, it probably was last year.
Okay.
Sometime.
Okay.
But,
so last fight. How do you feel about last fight being your first professional one?
It was good. It was good to get that one off me, that pro debut off me. So, and that's a big promotion in itself, so
the name attached to it.
Yeah, for sure. So I have experience under some big lights in itself, and so I just feel stoked about it,
Dope. And originally you got some history, wrestling, and then I know your dad put you on jiu-jitsu when you were young.
Yeah.
You didn't like it. You didn't want to be there.
I would say it was the first year, like when I was 5.
Yeah.
Like when I was real young. No, I hated it. Absolutely hated it. And he was cool about it. He wasn't one of those dads where he didn't care whether his son liked it or not. He made it my decision,
Okay.
And I eventually went back like after a year. I kind of sat back, kind of fell in love with it on my own, and once I fell in love with it, I just kept going.
Yeah,
kept going, man. Yeah.
No, that's good. That's and then you went to Berkeley or no?
Cal State Bakersfield.
Yeah, Bakersfield.
Yeah.
Bakersfield. That's
for
I get confused with the two B's.
Yeah.
But you went to Berkeley for wrestling.
For wrestling, yeah.
Yeah. And I saw you were, you had some pretty good wrestling matches. You were, your name was out there.
Yeah. I qualified for the national tournament a couple times. I did all right out there. Not what I want to do overall. My overall goal is to be a national champ, but I can live with it.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, but I'm just overall stoked to get on this MMA journey and stuff.
Yeah. So do you feel like the jiu-jitsu journey, the wrestling journey now took you to this path where it's like it's going to be MMA and MMA is going to be the career that it's going to take off? And
yeah, man, if I'm being honest, this is something I've always felt like I was going to do. Like I feel like there's a lot of wrestlers that, kind of don't know what to do after wrestling, and
right. Yeah.
They kind of see MMA as another way to, let out that, urge or whatever you want to call it, you know. Whereas me just coming from a heavy jiu-jitsu background as well with the wrestling, you know, it was and growing up here my whole life too, it was just something I've always kind of figured I was going to do after wrestling was over and stuff. So
okay, yeah, and I mean I don't see like a big name saying, you know, they're finished wrestling and now they're doing other stuff. I think most of them jump into MMA and
or they try to go on the Olympic team, world team, or whatever, but then you're talking about like 0.1% of the population, you know. So I mean that's probably why a lot don't do it, you know, post college. So
right. So now, how do you feel about? I mean, you have now the experience, you know, jiu-jitsu. You have a lot of skills that you have kind of put into your tool belt. Mm-hmm. How do you feel your journey on MMA is going to be? What do you see the future of, you know, coming up?
Yeah, man. I mean, I'm just excited overall, man. I think, you know, growing up here my whole life, I got a good skill set, you know, moving forward. And I mean, overall goals my whole life is to be a UFC champ. So, I mean, that's the goal at the end of the day, you know. And this fight right here is just another, you know, pattern in the way.
Yeah.
So,
are you patient? Like, can you be patient and wait for that turn to come out, or you just want it to happen now?
Yeah, I mean, if it was like me, you know, I'd want it to happen right now, you know. Okay. But that's why you got guys like, you know, Dave, my manager, Dan. You know, they put me in check. They're like, you know, wait a little bit, you know, give your body some time, you know, and stuff, and plan it out. Because if it was me, bro, I'd be fighting 8 times a year. You know what I mean? Man. I mean, probably, but you know, 2 or 3 is plenty. So.
Okay. No, I mean, it's. I think it's good. It's even on the Bay Area. I mean, I just don't see that like skilled fighters are getting a lot of fights. You know, I just had a conversation with Antonio, and it's like same thing. Fights get canceled. Fighters that see like, you know, your videos or your resume, and they're just like, I don't want to do that.
Right, and I think it's kind of hard when it's early on in your career too, because you really want to protect that O as much as possible, so you can go into higher ranked shows or whatever, you know.
Oh yeah.
But I think that's part of the reason, and I don't know.
Yeah. So you feel like there's just a lot of fighters that, you know.
I do feel that way. Yeah. I mean, I can say it's happened to me a bunch as well.
Yeah. They don't want to step in there.
Yeah, and it's hard too, because like you prepare for a camp, and then the guy pulls out, then you don't know who your next opponent's gonna be. So it's a lot of stress, and you kind of get to a point where it's just anybody, you know, like, because I mean, sometimes you don't know.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. No, man. That's, you know, it's the path to the new chapter. But you know, I think, you know, I'm just a MMA fan. You know, I've never been on a cage. I throw punches when I was in high school, so that's like my, you know, only thing I've done. But I seen you guys, and I think like, you know, the future of MMA, it's someone like yourself that has started young on, you know, mixed martial arts, jiu-jitsu or wrestling or anything like that, and it's the path now that, you know, they taking on big samples like, you know, Sugar Sean Omalley, that's from the UFC, new champ. He started very young. He got into it, and just everybody was telling him, nah, don't do that, go get a job. And look at him now. Yeah. You feel the same way? Like it's now the fighters that are coming up now, the new generation. It's a very different generation than the one that started.
Yeah, man. I mean, I think sports evolve, right? So I think when you look at it back in when the UFC first started, when it was Couture, Liddell, it was such an early sport, you know, that you could afford to start later, you know. But I think we're at a time now where, you know, even if you're not the best at a specific skill set, you at least got to have everything, you know, to be good at the sport.
Yeah.
So I think to get good at all that, you do have to start younger, you know, even if it's something simple as wrestling, right? Yep. Like starting that at a young age, you know, you're going to have that base as you get older, and, you know, you're going to have that at least to rely on, you know, as well as you're adding on to your other skill sets.
Yeah. No, I agree. So it's, you know, young kids, go get in the gym, train, do something. Now, where does your last name come from?
French. It's French. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
There's a coach, a hockey coach in Canada.
The same name, huh?
Yeah, are you related?
Bro. Nah, bro, not at all. And it pisses me off because, like, if you just Google like our name, he's like the first one to pop up.
Right. Yeah.
So I gotta
like
win.
Dominic.
I gotta win a few more fights to change that. So
Yeah. You gotta search Dominic MMA.
Wrestling, something.
Just to switch it up. Yeah. Not related at all.
Not at all. No,
Okay,
he's
okay.
actually from Canada.
Yeah.
No
Yeah,
Canadian
so,
whatsoever.
Oh,
So,
okay.
Yeah.
Oh, but you got some French on you.
I do French and Irish.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
And it's the fighting styles.
I guess so. Yeah. Best of both worlds, right?
Yeah, best of both worlds.
Yep.
And so now talking about the next fight that's coming up, how do you feel about it? You feel like, you're ready to go? What can we expect from this fight? That's your second pro fight.
Yeah, man, no, I'm feeling good about it for sure. I just feel ready to go. This camp's going great. It's different. It's actually in a ring instead of a cage this time. So, just getting used to that because it is a little different, when it comes to the corners and the actual ring part of it, So, but plenty of time to adjust and stuff and just feeling stoked and really good to go.
Yeah. Have you ever fought on a ring besides training?
I mean, I've done, sparring sessions, but more so just striking like everyone else really with boxing and stuff.
Okay.
You're going to use a ring for that.
Yeah.
But other than that, like full on MMA and all that, not really.
No, okay.
Other than like the past couple weeks.
Okay.
Like really. So
you got to jump on like a ring to just kind of get used to it and kind of get used to the corner.
yeah, well, it's a different feel, I mean, you're talking about an octagon, with,
Wall.
8 corners essentially, It's more circular and a squared ring, corners are different, circling's different, grappling exchanges, you can't really use the fence,
Right.
I'm kind of curious actually to see like what happens, like if there's a grappling exchange, if like people fly out or they're going to have something under, I don't know, it'll be interesting.
Yeah, I mean, I know in boxing they have people around the ring that hold the fighter, when they get knocked out and they almost fall out of the ring.
Yeah. But I'm just saying, like, if we're like, someone's mounting someone and, they roll and they like fly off, that's a little different than like starting on your feet, I feel like.
Yeah. How would they do that? But, I'm sure the promoters figure it
out.
out.
They got time to figure it out.
Yeah.
I trust them.
There you go. So, but it's going to be different for you. You feel like, I know they say that the corners are on the ring are easier to kind of get somebody on the corner and they don't have many chances to get away. Do you feel like that's a benefit to you or is it going to be like something you got to get used to?
I mean, you definitely got to get used to it because it is different, like I said,
Yeah.
But I mean, that is pretty true. I mean, because it is more of a corner, rather than it being spread out like a cage would,
Yeah.
So, I mean, for me personally, yeah, I feel like when it comes to clinching up and all that, the other guy is trapped in a way.
Okay.
So, yeah, I'd agree with that.
Yeah. All right. Now, your style, I mean, you had so much tools on your belt. Would you say your style, it's boxing, wrestling, jiu-jitsu? Like, which one's the style that they can define Dominic?
Yeah, I mean, I really like to mix it up, really, at the end of the day. But I like to be more as a grappler, grappler / wrestler, just because that's where I come from and stuff. And that's how I prefer to win my fights and stuff. But at the same time, though, I don't like to be known as a one-trick pony, I want to be known for, having heavy hands as well, and having a good takedown threat and being good on the ground and just being good everywhere, essentially.
Sounds like you have that. Now, there's one question I always ask everybody, and I always get different answers, and it's, if it was your choice to go into the UFC, would you go to the Tough House or would you take the Contender Series?
Oh, bro, Contender Series, 10 out of 10 times, for sure.
Yeah?
I mean, I'd rather just fight one time and
just go
get it over with, rather than stay in a house for, I don't know, X months. And
like 6 weeks?
6 weeks, whatever it is. And I don't know, it seems like there's a lot of, like, I don't know, tools that go in there too. So that'd be one thing to deal with. I would take the Contender Series.
Yeah, not even considered Tough House?
I mean, if that was my only option, I would. Okay. But, I mean, I feel like Contender is a way better option.
Yeah, so, some of them say that the history of the Tough, it's like they'll just want to have that in. They just want to appreciate that and, they'll do that.
Yeah.
But you're right. It's like you have one fight, you put on a show,
Yeah.
and you're in.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
I mean, even if it takes, a couple,
yeah.
even, like I think that's better than staying in a house for crazy long with no phone, no internet. Like,
And
that'd be rough, bro.
And you're like the last one that, I mean, you got to fight all these guys to be able to make it.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, makes sense. I mean,
What would you rather do?
I mean, if I was a fighter, I would probably do the same thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. I would just go to the contender. I'd probably get knocked out, but,
Hey, you're on TV, though, right?
It's on TV, yeah. So, yeah, no, but I also feel like, I started watching UFC from the Townhouse, the first UFC, and it's I feel like there is history there, and I do admire Nate Diaz, Killer Melendez, and all of them that kind of showcase the Bay Area, this area here to kind of they brought fighting into this area and they made it more popular than just so I do appreciate the house too, but
For sure.
yeah. I like to hear the take on actual fighters,
Yeah.
what you guys like to do, and no, that's dope. Now nowadays you can watch fight on anybody, even if they're amateur, somebody recorded on their phone and there's a fight there. Have you been able to watch fight for your next opponent? And
Yeah, I mean, we've been on, when I was an amateur, we were on similar amateur cards together. And
okay.
So I've been around him.
Okay.
And I've seen him fight and stuff.
Okay.
So I know what he brings and stuff.
Yeah. What do you think it's the thing you got to be more, concerned about?
His length. He's tall dude. I'd assume he has reach on me too, so, just knees and, him having that reach on me was probably the main thing.
Okay. Well, that's why there's training, right? You got to put in the hours to train for that. So now after this fight, I mean, it's going to be a good event, popular, I would say. What do you see next for you? You feel like there's a chance now that you can just jump into maybe, like you said, a contender series, start reaching out for the UFC, or would you do, any other organization that's out there?
Yeah, man. I mean, I definitely want to rack up my record and really get cage experience before I get in the contender series.
Okay.
Maybe nothing crazy, but I mean, I would like to get in the cage 5 times, 6 times, before I get in there. Play it a little smart. And yeah, I mean, as far as this promotion, I would love to continue this promotion as much as possible, if they want me. But overall, I just want to keep racking up that record. So
okay, how do you guys get that contract where you say, hey, come fight at this promotion, especially this one, like you say, it has a good name attached to it, or 2 names attached to it. How do you guys get that contract? Do they reach out to you, or you reach out to them, your manager? Or?
Yeah, my manager does all that work.
Okay.
So I would say just get a good manager. If you want a good manager, hit up my boy Dan Black. It's my manager. So.
All right, shout him out. So, in case he's an open book, he's taking new fighters.
Oh, I'm sure he is. Okay. So, yeah, he's a good dude.
Yeah.
Real good dude.
How do you started getting a manager? Because I'm sure at the beginning, you just were training and stuff. Did he found you? You found him, or?
Yeah. So him and Dave have a lot of history together. They were both Caesar guys back in the day, and they've just been boys ever since. So when I moved back here from college, him and Dave connected us and stuff, and
I see.
Been working together ever since. So
okay, so they seen good potential in you. That
I guess so. Yeah.
Like I said,
Apparently.
I think just fighters who have that experience from young. I think if you're getting on the cage and you have that experience, I think that's the future.
Yeah.
That's how I feel.
Yeah.
Now I was looking, doing some research, and you're born on U.S. City? No.
Wait, what?
Were you born, or are you from U.S. City?
Like U.S. soil?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're from there?
I'm from California.
Okay.
Born and raised.
What city?
Santa Rosa. Here.
Oh, you're born and raised in Santa Rosa?
Yeah.
Man, they got to get that stuff online correct. They said on your record, they said that you're from U.S. City.
I don't know.
And then they have you, like, fighting out of Santa Cruz.
Oh, for real?
Yeah. It's this side right here. See, fighting out of Santa Cruz.
Oh, well, they gotta change that.
Right?
What website is this?
It's the Topology.
Yeah. All right. We gotta email those boys, huh?
Gotta get them.
Right, we gotta get them.
You know, they give us all the wrong info.
Yeah.
At least they have you 1-0. So.
Oh, they did. They updated my record.
They have.
All right,
that,
that's
they
good.
have
That's
that
good
right.
at least. Yeah.
I don't know that they have all the right fights in there, but because they showed me that your last fight, one fight was canceled. You won your last one. Well, at least they have that in there. Now, how was it growing up here in Santa Rosa? How was childhood? Rough childhood? Was it pretty chilled?
Yeah. I mean, it was. I wouldn't take anything back.
Okay.
I mean, it wasn't easy. And nothing in the wrong way. But my dad. Being Dave's first black belt, he was definitely involved in jiu-jitsu heavily, and so when I wanted to do jiu-jitsu, like when I talked about earlier, they were going to make sure I was good, and that requires a lot of hard work. And so, they pushed me, and it was hard and stuff. But, I mean, I also had fun growing up, friends and whatnot. So
okay, never got into trouble?
No, nothing like that. So, no, it was cool, man. Can't complain. Definitely worked hard at my craft, I would say. And, had fun. It was cool growing up here.
Yeah. Now, I've been in Santa Rosa for not that long, but I've seen some good and some bad. How do you feel the city is evolving or not evolving now?
It's a good question. I would say it's the same for the most part. I would say, when you go in the nightlife a little bit, there's a lot more homeless maybe walking around than a decade ago, probably. Yeah. So that's probably one major thing I'd say. But, I mean, other than that, I mean, everything seems the same to me for the most part.
Okay. Yeah, and that's something that I saw. That's when I first got down here, just a lot of homeless. I was surprised. But then somehow at one point they disappear. There's still a few, but not as many.
Probably getting arrested. Probably getting arrested and released back in.
Yeah.
Because that's what all my cop friends talk about too, how they'll arrest all these homeless people.
Oh.
And then they'll see them 24 hours later just back in the same spot.
So they're kind of rotating now.
Yeah. So.
Yeah, that's crazy. Now, what's Dominic's favorite music? What's the music you listen to?
Dude, I'm one of those weird guys that I don't like them together, but I like rap and country.
Okay.
Like equally.
Okay.
But like I'm not gonna listen to rap at a bonfire. There's a time and place for both.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, I'd say rap and country.
Yeah.
Are my things.
Same, very different. Are you a fan of Mexican OT?
What's Mexican OT?
The Mexican OT.
Well, I don't know what that is.
You know? Okay. He's like a rapper with a slash of country. He's from Texas. Okay. So he has that accent, that strong accent, but his rap is pretty good.
Okay, I'll have to check him out. Yeah.
Now, what's the song that gets you pumped up that, if you walk in the gym and you're just like, man, it's too quiet. I need to play this song to get in the vibe. Yeah. Which one is it?
Dude, I really like OSOM by J. Cole. You ever heard that song?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's gets you going, because if you really listen to the song, it talks about like, you're running out of time and stuff, and you're walking here, you're like, maybe I am running out of time, I gotta, accomplish what I gotta do, and so if I had to pick one song to motivate me,
that would be the one. That gets you pumped up. That gets you going.
Yeah.
Okay, all that stuff. Now, where can we find you? Where can we find your follow you and social media? Shout them out.
Yeah. I'm Dom_Ducharme on Instagram. And that's the only social media I use.
Okay, so, just Instagram.
Just Instagram, yeah.
Man, fun. Okay.
So,
favorite beer? Or you don't drink?
Dude, I was a Bud Light guy until what happened.
Yeah.
So, I'm more of a Blue Moon guy now. It's a good taste. It's good with an orange. So, I'd say Blue Moon.
Okay.
What about you? What's your go-to?
I mean, I can't really phased away from the Mexican beer. So
Okay,
Corona,
so Modelo, good old Modelo or what?
Yeah,
Yeah,
Modelo, Corona. I can't seem to have, or the taste of Blue Moon and Happy Daddy and some of those. I just don't.
Really?
Yeah, they don't kick in.
Okay,
So
okay.
I just like the Modelo and I stick to that.
Yeah, to each their own,
But I've been trying to cut beer. That beer belly is not fun.
Ain't working, huh?
Yeah, it's not working, especially in bed. It's sleeping. Sleeping.
Yeah, right.
I saw on your interview you were in I think it's Arizona. You were at Sean Omalley's training center or where he trains.
Yeah.
How was that experience?
It was cool, bro. So it was actually kind of funny. So my cousin, he's trained out at Tim Welch's gym for quite a while. And I was at Arizona a couple years ago for some, and all he said to me was, "Hey, let's go train at my gym." He didn't tell me it was Tim Welch's
No?
or Sugar Sean trains there, nothing.
Oh, shoot,
And
okay.
So I go in there, and I honestly didn't know who Tim was. I knew who Sugar was, but I didn't know who his coach was or nothing like that. So I met him, and he was just a cool dude, and then trained with all their guys, and he said he was impressed with my skills and stuff, so I think that helped us bond a little bit, and he was just a cool, normal dude, man, and very welcoming and all that, and yeah, nothing bad to say about it at all.
Okay, and your cousin still trains there?
Yeah.
Still?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
So you got a door to just kind of go in there and check it out?
I could, yeah. It's a little bit of a drive, but if I wanted to, I could for sure.
Now, how do you feel about that, the entertainment part of that business, or entertainment part of MMA, which is, you could be just a normal guy and show it up on fighting, or you could be, good skill guy, but you also got to do this little hair color, the sugar show. How do you feel about that?
Yeah, man. I think as long as you can, back it up and, beat who's in front of you and beat who's who, I think you have the right to do whatever you want. Maybe we don't all agree with some of the decisions they do and stuff, but if you're backing it up, I think you kind of earn the right a little bit.
Yeah.
It wouldn't really be my thing. I kind of like to do what I do in the cage and let that speak for itself. But, we are kind of getting to an age where you do, got to do something to get noticed, you know? You don't have to be the bad guy, I don't think, but I think you got to do something to get noticed, get eyes on you if you really want to grow in this sport, as well as, like I said, back it up. So.
Yeah. No, that's, yeah, you said it right. It's if you show it on the cage, it helps. But nowadays we're on the age of social media and all that, and I think you gotta be entertaining outside of the cage too.
Yeah, man.
Now would you ever go back and train at that facility? Kind of hang out with the lifestyle of Sugar Sean and be around that environment?
Yeah, I wouldn't mind going there and training for a little bit, but this is a main gym at the end of the day, and this whole circle we have with the whole Cesar Gracie circle we have with Gil's gym, NDA, Jake Shields, all that stuff is, pretty good to have, I think.
Yeah.
So
yeah, it's some history too.
Yeah, absolutely, man. It's very historic, man.
Yeah.
And I'm sure Antonio, he was talking about the scrap pack generation, bringing it back and stuff, and it's cool, man, because it's that whole Cesar Gracie circle, that legacy in a way.
Yeah,
so
no, it's pretty strong.
It's continuing from different types of gyms, So
are you one to not change gyms and stick with your own people, or there's a lot of fighters who would just go one gym and then they just start not working out and they'll go to another. Get new skills, or you feel like your gym is where you can get everything?
Yeah, man, for sure. I think, I don't want to be a dead horse, but I think the circle we have, you're not just going to the same gym every day. This is where I go mostly, but, I go to NDA sometimes. I go to El Nino. There's some East Bay gyms that we have, and so... you got to go with different partners, get different feels while kind of staying intertwined in that, circle. You're not just going to one gym the entire time, So to answer your question, yeah, I would never want to leave that.
Yeah.
So
Have you ever been to Nick Diaz Academy?
I have, yeah. Yeah.
How's that experience?
It's awesome, man. Nate's the man.
Yeah.
I mean, Nate's the man. He's exactly what you think. Just welcoming dude, super cool dude. And yeah, bro, those guys they're tough. They scrap, but at the end of the day, we all respect each other, which is the most important.
Okay.
So.
Yeah. No, that's. Now, how do you feel about the recovery process that kind of like Nate Diaz has implemented on MMA? With Game Up, having CDB involved in the recovery. Do you participate on any of that, or are you away from?
I don't participate in it, but I mean, I think if people want to do it and it helps them, they should do it.
Okay.
There's nothing wrong with it. So,
okay.
Yeah.
But you stay away from me, right?
I personally do. Yeah. I personally do.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. No, and it's very popular. I mean, nowadays they're kind of getting mixed up with MMA and cannabis, but.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's keep your brain healthy.
Yeah, for sure.
Don't
for
kill
sure.
your brain cells. That's how I feel. But anyway, no, man, it's it's awesome to be here. I do appreciate you taking the time to giving us this little space. One more time, let them know where they can follow you. Your next fight coming up.
Yes, sir. May 18th, San Jose. You know what stadium it is?
It's at the Tech.
It's Fight Night at the Tech in San Jose. But May 18th, it's going to go down. Follow me on Dom_Ducharme, Instagram. Yeah, here we go.
All right, sounds good. Well, go follow the pod. Check them out. Go follow them on Instagram, and we'll be live at that fight. So, thank you for tuning in, and see you guys on the next one.